We have the brand new Ford Puma ST-Line 2024. This is the facelift that comes with a few super useful changes. Also the fact that we have ST-Line right here today, it's fantastic because you can see this beautiful design, beautiful shapes. I'm really happy to test drive and test this car today. I will have some separate video with the same car, full review, interior, exterior, technical data, material quality. We will talk about the changes that this Puma come in the interior. In this video, it's all about driving. I will give you the feedbacks, suspension, acceleration, how the mild hybrid system work, and all that stuff I will try to explain you in this video. It comes with 19-inch rims on this version that I have with me today on this ST-Line. Also, it comes with drum brakes on the rear, ventilated brake disc on the front. Lovely alloy wheels. They are kind of aerodynamic, a little bit close, so they look a lot like a rim from an electric car. I love the look of the rims. I love the color. The color is very similar with what we see on Porsche Crayon. If you know the Crayon color, it looks similar. And also if you look on the front of the car, it looks a lot like a Macan from this angle, which make the car fantastic. I mean, love the color, love the design. At least in this ST-Line, I think the bumper and the grille in the front, I think the side skirt and also the spoiler here on the rear look fantastic. I really like the design of the car. This is the keyless entrance, of course, electric folding mirrors. More about that I will explain you in a full review video. Also because it's the ST-Line version, we have this aluminum plate at the entrance. Also we have aluminum pedals. We have also those beautiful seats, sporty seats with red stitches in the middle, Alcantara microfiber, and here we have this artificial leather on the side. Manual adjustable seats. We will talk about that, of course, in the review video. Also, let's go inside. Now let me put the key here. Now you probably notice a lot of changes in the interior with this new facelift, and the biggest change are coming in the interior, of course outside as well, like the matrix headlamps, which we will talk in the review video. And I have also a separate video if you want to see it in the night time. I have a separate video made with the car. Actually here, once we are inside, I love the fact that you have an armrest which you can adjust, which is super useful, also in the same leather. The car still come with a manual handbrake, so we don't have electronic handbrake and we don't have auto hold features, which I wish it was here, but it's fine. I drive the car and it seems to be pretty well. I mean, it's easy to drive and yeah, doesn't bother me too much, at least when the car itself for such a good price. I think it's okay. I can jump over those things. Here is the stalk for changing the gear, the position of the gearbox. So for example, from here you can put it on drive, you can put it on S. It comes on the sport mode, but only for the gearbox. I will explain you as we drive. And reverse, of course. And once you put it in reverse, you can see this fantastic 360 degrees camera. It comes also with active line, so that guide you park much better. Plus you can zoom in on different angles, different areas. Plus you can go up here and change the rear camera, the front, wide, rear, and so on. It's super useful. And then you put it in park, simple as that. Wireless charging around here, some storage space for the key, USB-C, USB 2 around here. Also you have some physical button here to activate directly the cameras. I love the steering wheel, by the way. You can adjust it up, down, forward, backward. Super simple, super fast. And it has this new trend when it comes to design. You probably saw in the last years, I mean in the last year, a lot of cars released with this shape steering wheel, which I like so much. Not only that, it's much more useful while you're driving to grip, but also you have a better visibility on the upper side because it's straight, and down here you have much more space on the legs, so pretty nice. And also the quality, it's perforated on the side, lovely. We have new screens, 12-inch and 12.8-inch screen. You can also customize in many ways. I will reset the consumption and I will show you. You can see so many things there, but I will show you in the review video. Other than that, the mirrors stay the same. They are not huge. This is something useful when you drive on the highway because they will not hit the air to hear the air from outside when you drive at high speeds, and they are relatively fine. I mean, in terms of visibility, they are okay. I was expect to be a little bit bigger for a crossover SUV, but they are quite good. At least also here on this mirror on the upper side you have lovely visibility. In this mirror here it's perfect visibility because the window in the back it's really big. Also it comes with panoramic glass roof here and there. You can also open it up, but we will talk about that in the full review video. Now the screen is much more responsive, and also the navigation system it's much more responsive than what was before. We have a new hardware and software which move a little bit faster, something that I like very much. And you can see once you set a destination, you press go, it's loading super fast, which I like very much. But yeah, anyway, I will not leave the navigation because I want to talk in this video and then it will bother us. I want to give you some technical data and then we will start driving. As I said before, the version that I have with me is the Puma ST-Line X, and you have a few options here. You can get it with only 1 liter petrol engine, 3 cylinders in line. We don't have any more diesel versions or other engines. It's just only one engine on all areas, but you can choose on the same engine with different powers, like 125 horsepower, 155 horsepower, or the most powerful 170 horsepower. We have today right here the 155 horsepower with automatic transmission. You can get it also with a manual transmission, but we have the automatic transmission, 7-speed Powershift dual clutch automatic. As I said, 1 liter, 3 cylinders in line, 155 horsepower, 240 Newton meters. It's a front wheel drive system. You can get it only with a front wheel drive system. And the top speed of the car is 200 km per hour, 0 to 108.7 seconds. The fuel tank capacity 42 liters. Turning circle 11.2 meters on this ST-Line version, because on the normal version you have a better 10.4 meters. The weight of the car on this version 1,368 kilograms, ground clearance 16.3 centimeters, and the fuel consumption around 5.7 liters is the estimated VLTP. We will see in this video. I will reset the consumption to see what kind of consumption we can get. CO2 emission 128 grams, and because it's a mild hybrid system, that means it has a small electric motor, like more like a generator, and a small 48 volt battery. It's a 0.384 kilowatt hour battery. The car comes with independent suspension on the front McPherson, and on the rear twist beam rear suspension. We don't have multi-link or independent suspension on the rear. But what is interesting on this new engine, because they improved the engine over the years, and now we don't have the camshaft. Before was with a belt, now it is with a chain, which is really important to point out because it's much more reliable in time. So no more belt on the camshaft, now we have the chain, so that's really important. Now guys, I will set the climatic system on level 1 just like that. I will reset the consumption, and we will see on the trip 1 right now. Reset the consumption. Outside it's super hot and ready. Let's drive it. Outside it's crazy hot. We will drive also in eco mode. First of all, from here you change the different driving modes, so you have normal, eco, sport and slippery. We will drive in eco mode. Also, another thing to point out is the fact that you can choose different driving modes and the car will react depending on different driving modes. You can see the 360 degrees camera again. But once you are in eco mode, for example, you can go all the way down like I go now in S mode, and then you have the car in sport mode, but that means the car will try to change a little bit later, and also it will stay in a higher RPM. So you can put it in sport also from the gear shifter. From here you can put the gearbox in sport, but also the engine will stay on a higher RPMs, so it will try to give you a much faster response. But we will drive in eco. First of all, first impression is that it's pretty light to drive. The steering wheel, it's pretty light in eco mode, something that I like very much. It's quite assisted, which means in a small spaces you can drive very easy. Then you will see when you switch to sport mode that the steering will become a little bit more stronger. Also, the suspension have only one mode, of course, but it's really interesting because if you get the titanium or the entry-level versions, you will get a suspension that's set up, even though it uses the same mechanical parts, will be set up a little bit more comfortable. But when you choose the ST-Line or ST, then the suspension will be set up to be a little bit more stiffer, which is pretty good, because in the curve the car will stay much better. You will have a much better stability and will be much more fun to drive. And you will see when we go on the highway right now at high speeds, the car, it's reacting much better and it has a much better stability when you want to go on twisty roads or high speeds, which is great. So in general, what I want to say is that the car, it's set up in general to be sportier, to be a little bit more stiffer. So it's set up somewhere 60 to sportivity, 40 to comfort. But don't worry, because the suspension is pretty comfortable overall, but it's great setup for highway and long distances as well. So the car, it stays really good on the road. Now let me show you the autopilot, which it comes like an option as well. You can pay it extra like an option. It comes with all these safety features like blind spot technology, lane assist, and from here you activate it. You set the speed from here, just like that, and once you set the speed, the car will stay between the lanes, will accelerate, will brake, will keep between the lanes, which is really helpful, at least for this price range that the car itself. And the price of the car start at 23,800, the most affordable version, and for this one here that I have with me, it's over 30,000 euro, something like that, if I remember well. I will leave you all the technical data in the description of the video, because I forget the price, or maybe let me look really fast. So it's 34,650 euro. The price of this car, with a lot of options. It's almost a full option with panoramic glass roof, matrix LED headlamps, autopilot, which is working really good, and you can see right now it still drive itself, blind spot technology, emergency brake, lane assist, and also in this ST-Line version, which come with those amazing seats, good quality. Also overall, it has a lot of good quality. Even the armrest is adjustable. Even here you have soft, nice artificial leather, and yeah, overall it feels good. It feels good quality on the car. Also, I like those new screens. They are so big, you have such a good visibility. Plus this one, it's tilted to the driver, which it's so easy to use and to go in different settings around there. And by the way, also in this price, it's included heated windshield, heated steering wheel, and heated seats. Again, some features that are really useful. Now guys, the cool part is that when you release the acceleration, I want to show you that it's really important, the car will actually recuperate the energy back into the battery. And this is something that you can see on the screen, because you have that 48-volt battery. The car will recuperate the energy when you release the acceleration pedal. Also, I noticed that the car, it stays really good on those curves. I like the way they set up the car. It's really fun to drive. Anyway, let's go in sport mode, for example. Let's switch the mode in sport, and let me show you how the car will react in sport mode. Also, the graphic of the screen is changing slightly, so you can see a different graphic. Now the steering wheel, the steering wheel is much more stiffer, and also the acceleration pedal, whoa, it's much more responsive. It's such a big change. Wow, probably this is the biggest change, wow, between Eco and sport mode. I mean, I don't know how many cars have such a big difference. Whoa, it's so fun to drive, and it's a front wheel drive. What? It's super fun. Again, surprisingly, is that even if it's a 3 cylinders, it feels pretty quick and it feels pretty silent, so you don't hear too much noise from outside. Also, it's pretty fun in the curve. That's probably because of that nice setup of the suspensions. All right, boy. Nice. So you can have some fun with the car as well. It's pretty quick, surprisingly quick. I didn't expect that. Wow. So in sport mode, it's really quick. You can hear a little bit of noise from the tires. It's normal. Even the asphalt here is not that good. Also, we have the biggest tires, like 19-inch. You can get it also with 17. So I really recommend you, if you want to have better comfort and better fuel efficiency, to go with the smaller rims. But those are beautiful. Those are really beautiful. If you want to have the car look super good, 19, they're the ones to go. But you will hear some noise. Surprisingly, you hear some noise from the tires, but you don't hear too much noise from the wind or from outside, which is incredible. Even now, when you drive 120, you go 130, now you start to hear just a little bit of wind. Even the tires noise, it's relatively fine. Wow, but the car, it has such a good stability on those kind of speeds. I like the fact that the suspension is set up pretty sporty, pretty stiff, and I like that. And from what I understand, they really set it up on the ST-Line X or the ST-Line, the top of the range. They set it up a little bit stiffer. Also, the ground clearance is 1 centimeter lower, and they try to make it much more closer to sportivity, and which you can feel that. So the car has really good stability. And again, good autopilot and safety feature, good stability at high speeds. And I'm so surprised how they managed to stretch out this 1 liter engine, 3 cylinders. It's so good, I can't believe that. Probably because it's also connected to that mild hybrid system, to the electric motor, which it has, I think, around 15 horsepower around there, plus the 48 volt battery that's around 0.38 kilowatt hour, which help a lot. Right now it's recuperating, so I don't know if I can show you that. If I go here to the my view and then fuel efficiency, here you can see some information about the car. Now we will go also in the city, but right now when you press the brake, the car will recuperate the energy. We have a view right there in the front, so I try to change it in order to see that as well. So where is it? Let me go back here. I should switch to Eco mode right now in the city. I think it's much better. You go here and switch it to Eco, and right now the car, it gives you much smoother the power. Okay, now it's great. Now let's go back to the front screen. I think it's super agile. Now in the back I have some bottle of water and some stuff, so if you hear some noise, keep in mind it's from the bottle. I just forget it in the back. Anyway, in the back there you have so much space, man. Huge space. Now you can see you can configure this screen, so you can see different views in the front right there, which is super cool. It's not super configurable, but from my point of view, you still have so many views. Now this is the hybrid gauge, which shows you when the car is recuperating the energy or when it use. You can see right now, and the interesting thing is like that you don't have many level of recuperation, so you don't have like in other cars. Some other cars from other manufacturers give you the options to choose how strong to be recuperation, but here what it's interesting and what they make it smart is the fact that, for example, you just drive along, right, and then you press the acceleration. If you release the acceleration for 2 seconds, the car is just rolling. I mean, look at this. You just accelerate, and if I release it, the car is roll, and then it's engaging the recuperation. And it comes automatic on recuperation. For example, I release the acceleration right now, and then the recuperation, it start to engage, so it doesn't use the physical brakes, just recuperate energy back into the battery. But if you just play with the pedal just like less than 2 seconds, then the car will just roll without recuperation. So you cannot choose that. This is automatic, and it's smart because sometimes you just want to roll, and when you want to roll you just press just gently the acceleration a little bit, but when you want a more recuperation you just release it. And right now it's pretty strong. Look at this is the recuperation, it's pretty strong. And then you just press the brake in order to engage the physical brakes, like right now, recuperate and also use the physical brake in the same time. Plus I noticed that the system it's pretty smooth, so this transition it's made really smooth, which is great again. So I think they managed to do a pretty good system, and they managed to integrate very good this mild hybrid system into the system of the car. And again, it's a 3 cylinders, but it didn't feel like a 3 cylinder because the electric motor, the generator, helped the car when you do start stop, when you accelerate, and that make the ride much more smoother in most of the situations, which is incredible helpful. Here the turning circle is very good, even though this is the ST-Line which have 11.2 meters, still feel pretty agile, pretty easy to drive along. And yeah, it's pretty easy to drive in the city, it feels quite light, but in the same time, as I said, it's great also for the highway because they managed to set up those suspension a little bit stiffer, which I like. To be honest, I like it much more like that. And even, for example, my Tesla Model Y have the same kind of the same setup. The suspension are a little bit stiffer, so you have a good stability in corners and also at high speeds, something that I find so useful. Now here the train I think will pass and we catch this train again. You see how the car is recuperating the energy when I release the acceleration. Now let's see the consumption. This is very important. We have 6.7 liters consumption until now, so it's almost 1 liter more. Exactly 1 liter. 5.7 or 8 liters was estimated VLTP, and we have 6.7. We have 1 liter more than estimation. Also the car have 2,600 kilometers, which mean over 5,000 kilometers you will have half liter less or maybe 1 liter less, so it's around there. Plus we drive with a climatic system on low and level 1. Why I use it like that? Because I find it the best for testing the efficiency of the all cars. Because if I leave it on 22 degrees, sometimes outside it's much more hot, and sometimes it's much more cold. And when you use different cars, some cars will use more energy, some cars will use less. No, here they will use all the cars, no matter of the outside temperature, all the cars will use the same energy. Low, level 1, and outside it's super hot today, 34 degrees, so the car will use a lot if I use it on 22 degrees, which is much better test if you want to find out the real consumption. Now we will lose a lot because we stay in this crazy traffic, 6.8 liters until now, but it's a realistic test, to be honest. But keep in mind, after we get this crazy traffic, we had 6.7 liters until we arrive around here. But it's great for the traffic, for the test. It's really good because you get a little bit of traffic, so you can make an idea at the end of this video which kind of consumption you can get. Nice pedal, it feels good. The only thing that I wish the car had was an auto hold function. That was so useful if we had an auto hold, but it didn't come with auto hold. But interesting is that if you set, for example, the autopilot is not working right now, but if you set it, let me see if it works right now, but I think you have to have the certain speed. Yeah, if you set it like I set it right now, it works like auto hold. You don't have to hold the brakes all the time. So if you get the traffic, you set the autopilot if you have it as an option, and then the car will engage and will kind of stay here. So you don't have to use all the time the foot on the brake. So that's smart. A tip for you guys. If Yeah, for me it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't bother me too much if I don't have the auto hold, but will be a nice add-on. Plus the electronic handbrake will be a nice add-on. But other than that, I feel like the car, it's well built. I feel look at the Cayenne. Cayenne look also a lot like this Puma. It's like a little Porsche. I call it like that. From when I saw it first time, I was like, if you look at my review from 2019, when was it released, you will see like the first model, the pre-facelift. You will see that I said that, man, this is looking like a Porsche. And now the car that I have with me today, with this color, that I call it, I don't know, crayon. It looks a lot like crayon. I would say, man, it's so close to a Porsche, a budget Porsche. But in general, without any joke, I think it's a great car. Now we can test here the suspension. There are super stiffer, bigger suspension, bigger holes, I mean. Now it sounds good. It sounds good. Doesn't sound like they are strong or something like that. Doesn't sound like noisy, the suspension. It sounds good quality. Yeah, I like it. I like the way it's set up. It's not extremely comfortable, so yeah, don't expect to be set up to be comfortable. It's more set up to be sporty, but it's fine. It's fine. In general, it's pretty fine. Easy to go along in the city. I like it. I have to say, it's not bad. Not bad. 7-liter consumption. The consumptions go a little bit higher. Of course, it's normal because of that. And again, here you can see the gauge when the car is recuperating the energy or when I use the energy. And of course, you can drive in normal mode, but I don't think normal mode will make sense here in the city. But most of the time, I think if you go on the highway, if you go in the city, like a mix, you put it on normal mode and you just drive. But most of the time, I think eco mode will be the most used mode from the car. Otherwise, it's pretty silent. Visibility is quite good around the windows, mirrors, good comfort. It has this style on the dashboard that looks a lot like a Ford, so you know you're in a Ford, in an American car, because it looks like pretty classic. Yeah, I don't know, I like the car. Also, it's built, the car, in Europe, in Romania. It's completely built there, so it's not built in China, just in case, for those of you that wonder. I don't know if... Nah, the bottle of water, you can hear the bottle of water. It's quite nice. In the trunk, the brakes feel smooth. Also, the transition between recuperation and physical brakes is pretty smooth and nice. Can go along with the car, very nice. Now we drive a little bit in the city, so we can see also the consumption in the end, so we can make a realistic test. And I don't want to forget something. Now, you see, when I press the brake and also when you release the acceleration, the car will start to recuperate the energy. But the way it works, it's very smart. I mean, you drive along and then you release the acceleration, and then after 2 seconds, it starts to engage the regeneration, because you can sometimes just play with acceleration in order to keep it roll. You know, sometimes you want to roll it. And then when you release it, the car will start to recuperate the energy back into the battery. It's very smart. Come on, boy, it's green. Leave the phone on the side. All right. Now again, I can show you again. You see it right now, it's used power. It shows you with blue. The electric motor, it's in use right now. So that's, when you see blue there on the screen, it's that when the electric motor will be used. And sometimes when you start, when you accelerate, the car will use the electric motor and the energy in order to help the petrol engine. And it's great that you have this view here that help you see. You see, after 2 seconds, it's engaging the recuperation if I release the acceleration pedal. yeah, you can get used with it after you stay. When you drive the car for a few days, you can get used with the system and you start to learn how to use it in order to give you more efficiency. So right now I release the acceleration and you see the car is recuperate, and now I use the physical brakes. I love the fact that you don't feel the transition between physical brakes and recuperation, which is really convenient and useful. Again, the consumption is going down, 6.9 liter. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. I like the car. Yeah, what can I say, guys? I think I cover everything. I don't know if I miss something. Comfort is quite fine. Good comfort on the seats. Side support, relatively good. Good visibility outside. Suspension, it's set up to sportivity, but it's pretty good. Acceleration is pretty quick. We can try also another acceleration here. If you go to favorite, you go to drive mode, and then you go to sport mode. I wish Odo to do something. Will be much nicer if they move or make or create a button around here where you can choose and switch between different driving modes. That will be much more easier. But even so, I think you can put the gear shifter directly in S like that, and you have the gearbox in sport mode, which will be much more faster to go in sport mode, to have a little bit more dynamic and power in a faster way. So you see right now we are in sport mode. By the way, the gearbox, it's fantastic. Why I didn't talk about it? Because I didn't notice it. I forget about the gearbox. The gearbox, it's set up really good and it's changing all the time. When you put it in sport mode, your eco mode, it's much more responsive, it's much more quicker. It holds the engine at higher RPMs in sport mode and also in S. You can see right there it stays at 3000, which help you give you that edge much faster when you need to press the acceleration. It's quick, it's responsive, it's well set up. So in general, no wonder why they have sold so many cars in UK. In UK, this Puma, it's one of the most sold car in 2024, and in the last years was one of the most sold car in some countries, which is impressive, which is really impressive. Now let's go back to drive mode. Yeah, there are a few things that I wish to be here added, but in general, I think it's perfect the way it is. And also, I mean, for the options that they offer, around 34,000 euro, I think it's a pretty good price for a crossover SUV. Super beautiful, with a lot of technology and a lot of safety features, good comfort. Also, it has 5 stars at Euro NCAP safety, which is again important. Plus, because they changed this camshaft, now it's with chain and no more belt, it's much more reliable. And you don't have to change it, you don't have to service it so often. I think you have to change it at much higher kilometers. And I want to show you right now, when we park around here, I want to show you also the 360 degrees cameras. You put it in reverse like that, super easy. I love the cameras, they have such a good resolution. I love the big screens, which help you guide you park so easy. And you can go around, you can see also this bird eye view, which shows you from above. And if you're not sure about some corners, you can even zoom on every corner of the car, just like that. You can see also in the front. How cool is that? It's extremely useful. Plus you can see it from here. You can see it in wide, a little bit closer. You can see it like that. It's so good. So good, this system. Put it in park, handbrake, and that's it. Let's see the consumption, because we lose some time now. Come on, why is it? Seat belt, why the seat belt? Go. I have to put my seat belt in order to see the consumption. That's really crazy, man. I want to power up, I want to see my consumption. Now, where is it? 7.3. Yeah, okay, that was the consumption because we accelerate a little bit in the end, but usually it should be around there. That was the trip, guys. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get some useful information from here. From my point of view, it's a pretty good, well-built car, and no wonder why in UK they sell so many Ford Puma, because it's a beautiful car. It has a lot of safety feature, a lot of technology. It's a safe car. It's super comfortable. You have plenty of space. Check out the full review video to see how much space you have in the trunk, and also in the back here you have these new screens right now, digital cockpit, new multimedia system. It's much better. It's such a big screen, and yeah, it comes with so many safety features and comfort features and technologies, plus the price, it's relatively good. I mean, 34,000, and in some countries you can get also the incentives because it's a hybrid, it's a mild hybrid system, which you can get some tax-free incentives plus the promotion. You can get it even at a better price. So yeah, from my point of view, pretty good car. Definitely check out the other videos. I will try to make another video where I will drive only in eco mode to see how much will be the consumption, also city drive, traffic, and also highway, so we can test the consumption as well. So definitely check out the other videos as well. If you still have questions, ask me down below. I will be happy to answer you to all your questions. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Stay safe, and I see you soon in the next one. Bye, guys.